Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to continue on with the discussion preparing for spring camping and summer camping. Anyway, hang in there, be right back with you. Got a lot to talk about. Again, welcome back everybody, and listen, I want to thank all of you who subscribed to my channel and who've been watching my videos. I appreciate it. If those of you who are subscribed, to get your friends and enemies involved, share my channel, give me a thumbs up, and to leave a comment down below. And those of you who are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It really would help out, and I really appreciate it, and I'd be very thankful. So let's get started. And I do mostly winter camping, but in the spring I will do some camping also when the weather's a little better and still not too many bugs out, because I really don't want to mess with the bugs. Not that I'm afraid of them, it's just that they make for pain in the butt for everything you want to do. But I want to talk to you about some cooking systems that I use and that maybe you use. The first thing I do is before I go on my camp out, I prepare and I think about, well, where am I going to go and how do I want to camp? Is it going to be a long hike where I'm changing locations on a daily basis? Or is it going to be more of a fixed camp, and from there I'm going to do some work there or do some hiking from the fixed camp? So let's talk about first fixed camping, okay? If I'm going to go into a fixed place, and if there's a possibility of using wood, if it's not a dry season and I can use wood to burn to make fire, then I will camp differently. My food will be different, and we've already discussed about food in the last video. But so it'll be a little different in pots and pans I carry and this kind of stuff. First of all, I have a couple of things that I use when I do wood camping. And first, one thing I can use is I have this system right here. I can set this on top of the fire, okay? Let's see how we can see this right here. Let me fix this a little bit so you can see a little better. So this is going to sit on top of the fire, okay, in the coals. I'm going to push coals up underneath this right here so that I can put a pot, for example, this Zebra billy can right here on top of it right here. Or I can actually build a frame, a stick or something like that, and hang this down over it. But I actually do like this system a little better. I feel a bit more secure doing it, and I can easily put this on here and take it off. Okay, these Zebra cans, you have three sizes. I have the smallest right here, which is I don't remember the number on it. I think they're like 14, 15, and 16 or something like that. But these are all made in Thailand, but they're really good. Highly recommend them. I've used these a lot. I just keep them clean. I really scrub them down when I get back. And it has a small pot insert right here you can use as a bowl or something like that, or if you want to steam something, or not necessarily steam something, you want to keep something warm on it. But you can put this easily over a fire. It's a more compact version. You can carry for hiking even. And you have a really solid lid. Now I've had this right here for near 20 years, and it is a very good system, along with the larger one right here, which I think is the 16. And you can see it's had even more time over the fire. And something else you can do is you can store things inside of these right here for the hike out or for the camping trip. For example, cleaning supplies, this kind of stuff to clean this thing up with. And you can easily put, for example, small bags or even a sock. You can put some items in it and then store it inside of it. And put this, you can either put this inside of a bag itself or carry it as it is, okay? I also have some other items that I use. I showed you last week the large grill. I have a smaller one like that also, and I'm going to have to dig out in a second my other fire building item. So be right back with you. So this other item I have, it's quite compact. It's foldable. This right here is a fire stove. Right here, I've had this right here for a long time. And this is a grill that came with the longer grill that I have from Extreme Grills, Extreme Outdoors. And I like this right here, and I'll show you why in just a second. This thing here is a little bit dirty, but it pops open very easily. You just pop it open like you see right here. The bottom right here actually folds down, and you can build the fire directly on this thing right here. Okay. Now, something, you have these small pieces right here. Now, what you can do is right here, you can sit them inside. You can have holes on the side of this thing, and you can guide these things through these holes. And what it does, it gives you an instant little grill. Okay. For example, if you want to cook some sausages on it and this kind of stuff, I usually do it from both sides. And now you have different levels you can do this with. Sometimes I have a hard time seeing it. There we go. And it's in there, and you can see how it's inside of that right there. But then I like to take the grill right here and just set it on top of the whole thing. And then I can actually grill directly on it also. So I can have a flame but just it takes a little bit of time to get this thing going. But something I'll carry with me sometimes is a bag of charcoal actually with me, a nice size bag of charcoal. And so I can use that with it to get the base started. And then I can add sticks and twigs to it, or however I want to do it, or mix it up. And so this right here is a fire stove. Now this one right here I've had for a while. It's quite heavy. Well, it's not that heavy, but it's, I can't remember the name of it. Here it is right here. This one right here, it's the original Kunze Kocher made in Switzerland. And this thing right here is about almost 89 bucks, 90 bucks, this thing right here is, but it lasts forever. I need to clean it up though. I need to get a wire brush out and clean this thing up. But what I do like about it is quite compact, you fold it up, the sides fold in, then you can take it along with, like I said, with my grill right here. Got a lot of dirt right here on top of the table. And this right here will fold right up inside of it. This little bag that it comes with. It's a good little bag. I've had it with it since the beginning. And this all fits inside of there. There's a little Velcro. And there you go. As the English would say, well, I don't know what the English would say. It's the cat's whiskers. There we go. So there you go, like that. Let me get some of this off the table right here a little bit. I have to vacuum it up a little bit later. Something else before we continue on that I always carry with me when I'm out and about, and that is a good pair of leather gloves. A thick pair, a pair that I can use just for work around the camp. And these right here are almost a must. If you're around the fire, you can pull these out and you can work with anything that's hot, push things around, even hot sticks, and you don't risk burning yourself up. These are from a company called PMI right here. I don't know if they're from the States or Canada, whatever, but they're a solid pair of leather. They're made actually, these are heavy duty leather repelling gloves right here, made for working on the linemen and stuff like that. But I like them because they're very, they're quite compact, but at the same time, they're very useful around the fire and for working around camp. So if you're going to cut firewood, whatever, it's good to have something to protect your hands as much as possible. So other items I use, especially when I'm camping out and over the fire, let's say actually here, is I have a handmade frying pan. I have several frying pans. So here I've had the longest for all of them. And I like it right here. It's quite small, really good for one person right here. You can put a stick in the end of it right here. This thing can sit right over, but you see how heavy it is right here? That's a problem. You put some stuff in it, it holds on a little bit, but you have this problem with it being a little heavy, and it's a little small. And but I've used it a lot, as you can see. It's a very good one. I keep it oiled up. Put some little bit of oil on every once in a while, wipe it down. When I get back from the camping trip, I will actually clean it up really good. And I keep it inside of a heavy duty bag I made. Now, I just got myself this one right here. I wanted something a little bit larger, and it's a little bit lighter. It's actually lighter than that one is. And that's this one right here. It's from GSI Outdoors. And this one right here, I can stick it on it, and it's not favoring it's falling over. Okay, so that right there makes things a lot better for me. It's a bigger size. I can fry some stuff up in it. But one thing you got to remember when you're playing with these right here, there is some Teflon in it, and it does have a protection on it. You can see this right here very well. As I use a wooden spatula, I never use any kind of metal inside of it, and so that way I can preserve this the longest. Okay, what I do like about, if you want to close it up, squeeze this together, just pops back over. It even comes off. You can easily take it off like I just did right there. Okay, and then I have a cotton bag. I keep it inside of there. these are some, for example, if you want to cook some stuff yourself, you want to fry up some chicken or steaks or whatever, pork chops, some bacon, some eggs, whatever you want to do. You have these frying pans, which come in very handy, and they're larger. You know, they're not as big as the full-size cast iron ones, which are really great, but they're really heavy. So another thing that another cooking possibility that I've used, and that is this Pathfinder stove right here. And this right here is very simple. You just build a fire underneath of it, and then you can take your Pathfinder cup and you can put it on it, and you can boil water or cook soup, whatever. I'm not a huge fan of this style right here because I don't like this type of handle. What I do like better is the newer Army issued version, and it sets on there quite well, much more stable. It's not as large. If you look at it, it's not nearly as large. And this right here does have the numbers in it, this kind of stuff for how much volume you're putting in there, and milliliters and ounces. And it doesn't fit in this right here properly, so it's made only uniquely for what it is. Another thing with this Pathfinder, when it comes with a lid, so you can actually put the lid on it if you're cooking something. And it's quite stable. It's quite stable. I'm just not a big fan of this right here. I always had this fear that this is going to pop up right here, and this whole thing is going to fall out. So, but this is an older, the original version, original idea, concept of the whole thing, and it does nest together very well. I mean, it's a really well-made system. It's a little heavy, but it all fits in here very well, along with the canteen. And you can even boil water with the canteen as long as you take the top off. Okay, you can boil water inside here also, as long as you take it off. Okay, so the only problem is figuring out where you're going to put that in. But I have a bag that I use, and I keep that inside of another bag, okay? I also have other items I can boil water and cook in directly. And this is an Nalgene 1 liter water bottle. And all you got to do is just slide off. If you notice, there's no rubber rim here, nothing like that. You can slide this thing right here off just by holding it in position, pushing it. It just pops out. And then you can put this directly in the fire or on the fire or in the coals. And then to boil water, if you need to boil water. And it is, so far, it's my go-to canteen right now. I like it. It's actually very, very comfortable. I have a couple of these right here. And they also will nest inside these titanium cups like you see right here. And then I have a larger one here. I have a lid that fits on this right here also, which is quite good. You can also use that for one person for boiling water up in. And then I have a larger one here also. This is a 750 milliliter. This right here is a 500 milliliter, I think, or 450. So you see the difference in them. But they're the same size as a traditional Nalgene 1 liter bottle. So very, very handy. And then, of course, you have the regular Nalgene bottles right here. And you have your regular GI canteens right here. But I also have cooking systems that I use. So if I'm going to go out and I'm going to do some lightweight camping, and I don't want to necessarily cook full meals, I'm going to use dehydrated meals. I have a couple of systems here. Actually, I have another thing here to show you. Just don't know where it ran off to. Oh, here it is right here. Before we get on this right here. This right here is an Esbit stove. These have been out since a long time. Made in Germany. I've used one of these right here the whole time I was in the Army for 10 years. I got it while I was in the military. And it folds out. It comes with some burnable fuel tabs. And we used to also get them in the Army, the fuel tabs. I used to use both of them. You can set it down. You can take your GI canteen cup. Fits right on top of it. You can boil up some water, make some ramen, some soup, whatever you want to. And it works very, very well. And this is a very good lightweight possibility for you if you have the time to boil up water. It's not going to do it very quickly, but it does work very well. It does work. I will definitely give it to that. Anyway, so let's move on to this right here is it's a titanium cup with a lid. I got this right here when I was hiking and camping with my, at the time, wife. And so that way we can boil up more water in a larger container. And what I have in here nested is a fuel canister. And this right here will last easily, I would say easily 5 days full. with the other system I have. This system right here, I haven't used it that way yet. I'm not as, I like this because it is lightweight, but I'm not as a fan of it as I am the other systems that are out there. It folds out together here. If you can get it to do it. Yeah, here we go. The only problem is that it's not the, it's got some issues with it, okay? And these issues for me are worrisome, a little bit pain in the butt, but it is lightweight. It screws directly into this right here, and then you can boil some water up on it if you need to or you wish to. I do like it. I'm just not as big a fan of it because it doesn't have you have to carry fire or a spark along with it, and to get it going. But if you're doing ultralight camping, this right here will be fine. One person, I think it's fine. The only problem is when you see when I'm going to close it, I'm going to close it. Okay, let's see if it does it correctly this time. Oh, no, this right here doesn't want to do it. Now you got to do it the other way. This one right here is a little bit, it spins a little bit. So I find it a little bit obnoxious, actually. So you fold it all in. Very compact. That's one thing I do like about it. The bag is huge in comparison to what's in it. You get it all inside there. And there you go. It nests easily inside of this pot with the lid. And there you go. Fits really well. This here also has a porcelain. This is also a very nice setup right here, also for hiking and camping and that kind of stuff. But what I started out using, trying out, I remember it was in Wales, it was on I want to say my 40th birthday, because we went to Wales, there's a whole group of us, a bunch of good friends of mine, and I've spoken about them in videos before. We all went out there, we flew down to, we all from different countries, we all landed in the UK. We all got together, went down to Wales, or went up to Wales, and we hiked and climbed. We hiked in Snowdon, and we then camped on the other side. And I had the first version of the Jetboil. Well, I was trying to use it traditionally, and it just didn't work out. It burned out. So actually, before I left, I gave it to a buddy of mine that was there who needed camping gear. So I hooked him up with that. And then I went back to using an Optimus, which is very similar to the MSR you just saw there. The only problem was that it was very slow when it came to boil point, and it got dirty very quickly. So I didn't like it that much. So a buddy of mine put me on to this version right here of the Jetboil, and he had one. I got this one right here, and I have been using it ever since with glee. Now, this right here is a heater. This here is a hot, like a sock that goes over it, and just so you can touch it. But also it helps hold in the warmth if you need to. But it's a really nice protection. It's got it's a insulated material right here, as you see also on scuba diving clothing. Then you have the Jetboil itself. Has a lid, and in the lid you have your tripod right here, which pops out, and this right here is so you can use it stable. You don't necessarily need it if you're indoors, just right there on a flat stone, but it's very nice to have. And then inside of it, I have the canister of fuel, and you have the burner plate here. Okay. Now this thing right here is auto lighting. It's got a striker on it, electric lighting on it, which I find fantastic, and it has never failed me. It's always worked. Okay. And you just take this right here, you screw it in, the whole system. One thing you got to do is you got to make sure that it is turned off before you do that. And then you can pop this thing inside. Now it's got two sizes. It's got a larger size for a larger size also. But then you can pop this thing right inside of the feet. It sets down like a Apollo astronaut does. And then you have a bowl here, a transparent bowl right here, which has had the crap kicked out of it a bit. It's got some nice little, and you can get it going. Just screws right into it to keep it. You just find the pivot points to keep it stable, and then you have a lid if you want to boil some water, this kind of stuff. And I like this thing a whole lot. It really, the size of it, this is called the Sumo, I think. Is it called the Sumo? No, the Mini Me. And I like about it's a larger size pot, and it works fantastic. Now, if you don't want to work or use the large size pot, boiler pot, you can use this piece right here, and it folds out. It's a compact piece right here, and you actually can set it on top of the boiler itself. It has these little points on it right here. You set it on top of that right there. Let me see. I think it actually goes down into. Let's see something here. It's been a while since I've used. Okay, yeah. This just sets on top of it. Okay. There we go, like this right here. And what you can do then is that if you have a frying pan, which Jetboil also produces, I just didn't get it because the whole thing is Teflon, and you can set this on top of it, and there you go. You can fry up some eggs, cook, whatever you want to do on it. So I do like this system right here, and for lightweight camping, it all comes in really, really handy, and it all works very well together, okay? So, and of course you can put larger pots on it if you are camping, if you're cooking for a bigger group, you need to boil more water. If you're trying to boil water to drink, you're in a situation like that, you can boil the water up right here in a larger scale if you need to. And what I like about the whole thing is that you can basically just unscrew it and you make sure it's turned off. You hear that? It's a little bit of lossage, very little, though I can smell it, of the fuel. This right here folds back on it, stuff like this right here. This pops off if you don't need it. And then the legs pop off of it right here. It all folds up back in on itself. The little legs, they go back inside of the lid, which is very nice. And then you take your little bag, which is a very soft material bag. I think it's very nice. And what I do is I nest it like this right here, stick it in there together, because this right here will all fit inside of the I don't need this like this. I put this right here inside. I put the burner inside the bag. Excuse me. I nest it together like this right here. It all slides inside the bag here. I turn it so it's all inside of there. Sometimes you have to manipulate a little bit. Let's see if you can't get that in there. There we go. It's all in there. The lid pops back on again. It's all sealed up in there. You put the bottom on it, and then the whole thing nests again back inside of my little bag that protects the whole thing. But also, like I said, it uses for other things also. And there you go. Now I don't have anything specific for this right here. I just throw it in, fold it up, throw it inside the bag, but it all goes in there together. So that's it. These are some of the ways that I use, some of the things that I use for summer and outdoor camping. And I appreciate to know what you think and what do you use. I know a lot of people use a lot of different things. There are a lot of different systems out there, a lot of different types of stoves. I have probably at one time had up to 25 stoves that you can imagine, and little by little I've gotten rid of them because I don't need them. I've taken me a long time to get down to what I do need, what I do like, and what I use the most are these two items you see here when it comes to cooking outdoors. These are the two items I use the most, okay? Along with, like I said, I have used this right here once, worked very well. And I had the long grill, which I keep in my backpack with the cutting board and that kind of stuff. That's all a part of this system right here. And I use that, and it works fantastic. Also, make sure you got the right kind of, and we spoke about the last video, the right kind of service, or what do you call it? Forks and spoons and knives, kind of stuff that you're going to need and use. And try to avoid using your knife like right here over the fire. You can cut things with it, which is great, but try to avoid using it over the fire to just get you a stick or something like that if you want to manipulate the fire, that kind of stuff. I've seen people do that, and it can damage the blade. It can damage the knife. All this reheating and everything is not as good for it as a lot of people might think it is. But anyway, that's it. I think I've covered everything. If I haven't, you'll let me know. I know you will, and I appreciate it. Listen, I hope you all have a pleasant day, a great day. We're having some crazy weather here in Switzerland. You see there's some sun coming through, where we have some high winds, the temperature has dropped, and if I want to do this video outside, you wouldn't be able to hear me because of all the wind. So I do appreciate you staying with me with these videos that are indoors right now. I will get back outdoors again in the near future. And also in the near future, I'm traveling to the United States. So there may be a bit of a pause in some of the videos I'm making and sending out, but I appreciate it if you'd be patient with me and continue supporting my channel, and I look forward to hearing from you. Listen, I hope you all have a pleasant day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.